When I was overweight and I was not doing very well, I was kind of scared about where this was going to lead me. Heart failure occurs when your heart doesn't pump blood as well as it should. Certain conditions such as narrowing arteries in your heart, coronary heart disease, or high blood pressure gradually leave your heart too weak or too stiff to pump the blood efficiently. Again, I was scared, right? And I was looking at the conditions that lead to heart failure. And, not all conditions that lead to heart failure can be reversed. But treatments can improve signs and symptoms of heart failure and help you live longer. Lifestyle changes such as exercising, reducing sodium in your diet, managing stress, and losing weight can improve your quality of life. The one way to prevent heart failure is to prevent and control conditions that cause heart failure in the first place, such as coronary heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity. When I look at the symptoms of heart failure, some of the things that really started to scare me were things like man, I was scared. So I had to make changes, and I had to make them fast. So now that I'm running, I'm seeing major differences in my life. So is it good to run? The benefits of running are so immense. Today I've got 5 I want to share with you. Now these are all my personal opinions about the benefits of running. The first benefit of running, I love running where it's peaceful, it's quiet, and while you're doing the action, you're not stressed out. You're not thinking about all these other things. You're not mindlessly going through Twitter or X or whatever the heck you want to call it, Instagram, Facebook, even YouTube. You are in the present moment. You're connected to your surroundings and you're at peace. It is one of the places where I feel the safest. I feel very at home, very comfortable in this environment, and there's nobody around. The solitude is immense. I think with a lot of people, we live in a busy world. And with that busy world, the noise is never ending. Like my brother is on a cruise at the moment and we were video chatting, and the amount of people and noise and everything else that was going on the cruise was crazy. And yet here I am in Canada, hiking on this trail and not a single person is around. I've seen some wildlife, which is cool. We live in a time where we're constantly being bombarded with ads or our attention. Like everybody wants our attention, right? Whether it's on social media or TV, or you driving down the road and there's ads everywhere, billboards, right? The phone's going, beeping, you got notifications going on. I just find this so much, right? And in my line of work, it's it's constant, right? So every now and then I need this moment to myself to recharge my batteries. Because once I'm able to recharge my batteries, I can give a lot of myself to the people around me. For those of you who struggle with mental health challenges, whether it's anxiety, whether it's depression, whether it's panic attacks or whatever it is, I find that running is very, very beneficial, very helpful for those people who go through those sorts of things. I know I've had my moments where I think the world's coming crashing down. Things aren't going my way. I don't know, life can be hard. So if you can, slip on a pair of shoes and get out the door, being able to run and allow the dopamine, let the endorphins do their thing. I don't think I've ever come back from a run upset. unless I've hurt myself. I think running allows us the freedom to just be one with nature and to get out and enjoy our environment and kind of turn off our brain, because our brain can run wild. And so for me, mental health, it's an important thing, because if I'm not good, the family's not good. Everyone worries about me, and I worry about everybody else. So I try to show up for myself and just improve and just be a better human being. And running certainly allows me to do that. When I run, I sleep better. I can't tell you how many times I've been out for a 20K run. I come back, shower, and my day starts, and I feel flipping awesome. And then, 10 o'clock at night comes and I start to get that feeling where I just kind of stretch and I'm just like, oh, this is going to be a good night's sleep. And then typically I'm out and I vivid dreaming, and I'm just so relaxed. And it feels awesome to wake up after that, knowing that I'm ready to go all over for the next day. I don't know. The thing, when I don't run, I find that my sleep kind of feels like it's disturbed, like I'm out of a pattern, and I feel kind of disjointed, really. I don't know. I feel like one of my pillars in life has kind of fallen. Do you have that feeling? At the end of the day, you've had a good run. I don't know. Let me know, because I do like reading the comments, and I love kind of connecting with you guys. And I love connecting with you so I can understand kind of, the things that you go through. Okay, there's a little bit of water. Ooh, there's a little bit more than just water. Oh, have you ever been stuck in a fork in the road? Or a T? Or a four-way? I don't know which way to go. Never been here before. This is pretty epic. God, I could get lost in here. This is what I love about running. I love the fact that I can explore. I can check out new places. And it's an adventure for me. Whether I've been here or not, I just love this kind of thing. So I don't know where any of these roads, I don't know where any of these pathways are going to lead me. But it's pretty cool because there's mud and trees and logs and grass and, I don't know, nature. This is cool. When I'm running, my diet seems to just clean itself up. I don't seem to crave all kind of sugary, junky foods. I kind of call it like my pillars. When the pillars of my health start to fall, I don't know, my diet seems to just fall apart too. So by running, it allows me to be excited about those types of things. But when I'm excited about running, I'm not eating the junk food. And when I'm not eating the junk food, I'm not putting on the weight, and I don't have to worry or stress out so much about how much I'm gaining or, what I'm gonna eat after a run. Because typically after a run, I eat healthy food. I may crave salt, but that's okay because I'll have it in my electrolytes, and everything seems to be cleaned up so much more. So after I clean up my diet, what's the other benefit of running? After my runs, and I feel just the clarity in my head. I feel really focused and really engaged in the tasks that I do. And overwhelmingly, my life is way better because I run than when I don't run. And you can just ask my wife that, because she typically will ask me, hey, did you get out for your run this morning? And typically after a couple of days, she'd be like, you better go out for a run. No, honey, no, Dave, go out for a run. Before I started running, I had sore joints. My knees hurt, my hips hurt, everything kind of hurt. And I was a young guy, and I still am a young guy. However, once I started running, over a period of months and then years, I don't have joint pain anymore. I just feel really good. And get a run in, it's not just for the exercise, it's for like the well-being. Like, there's a lot of you on my channel who turn around and say that, yeah, you know, my overwhelmingly, you're more positive, you feel epic, you feel euphoric, you feel quite amazing. It's your sanity, it's your meditation, it's your escape. It's, you feel better overall because you run. Running improves cognitive function and reduces cognitive decline and Alzheimer's. This is the newest and most unexpected area of health benefits produced by running, and it makes complete sense. Running raises heart rate and blood flow. That includes oxygen-rich blood being pushed to the brain, and it's hard to imagine that this wouldn't be a good thing. In our day and age, I think everybody knows at least one person who has lost a family member to Alzheimer's or dementia. And I know in my family, my mother, that was one of the things that she struggled with most. And I find that when I'm out for a run, I really do try to think about these things, because I always kind of come back to that why. Why am I running? What benefits is it giving me? Why do I continue to do it? And when it comes to this, it's probably very high up there on the list of wanting to make sure that I try to be in the best physical shape I can. Now, are there other things I can be doing? 100%. But I choose to do a lot of running, and I'm okay with that, because with the results that kind of come out of this, like, I know a lot of people, they do like Wordle, or they'll do crosswords or Scrabble. They do these types of games to help with their brain. And I know for me, I do it once in a while, but I would honestly rather be out on the road running or on the trail. And I should say, if it's going to help with my noggin, then I'm going to continue to do more of it. So running, if it pushes more blood, if it pushes more oxygen and rich oxygenated blood to my brain, I'm all in, man. Running improves your immunity. There have been a lot of scientists out there trying to figure out if running helps with the immune system. And it looks like in 2019, there have been some results when it comes to this. Now, moderate exercise obviously is going to be much healthier for your immune system as opposed to running an ultramarathon. That is until you recover from it. Because when you run an ultramarathon, it is hard stuff. Like when I ran my 50 miler, man, it was probably one of the hardest physical things I've ever had to do. However, going out for an hour run every number of days during the week, that's a good thing, right? Good moderate exercise, really good for your immune system. Now, if you're also eating a lot of dark, red, black, and blueberries, that is a great recipe for your immune system, because there's so much goodness in those foods to help with that. As you can see, I eat a lot of those types of things. I just pack my fridge full of them, and I will sacrifice on a lot of other foods to just make sure that I can afford to put these ones in my diet. Now, running can also help you deal with disease. It can help you deal with inflammatory markers. It can also help with your gut biome. If you're eating healthy foods and you're running, look, these are all good reasons to keep doing what you're doing, because you are building up your body to be able to fight off a lot of these things that kind of go around, which is probably why I was so healthy for like the last 7 years. And I only got sick a couple of weeks ago and fully recovered, and I'm back running again. So anyways, it's kind of an interesting thought looking at the data. Running helps you lose the weight and keep it off. Now, I'm going to say yes and no to this, because there is a dietary component that kind of connects them. because you could be eating garbage and you're running, but you may be at that age where your running isn't helping with your diet and you're consuming all of the wrong foods, which also puts you into a bad category. You could be running too fast and burning off different types of calories. So if you're running slow and you're burning your fat, that is a good thing. That's why I like the Maffetone method. It really puts me into that really low zone too. And I don't get hungry when I finish running these slow runs. So it helps with the diet component. Losing the weight can be easier than keeping it off. When you're in maintenance mode, sometimes I find that that's really hard. But losing it, you know, you can kind of get in this, I don't know, a good kind of spiral where you're just running and you're focused and you're being consistent, and the weight does start to come off because you're eating healthier foods. But then there reaches a point where now you're trying to maintain this weight, and that's where it gets a little dicey and a little tricky, and you really have to make sure that the diet component matches the type of running that you're doing and you're being consistent at it. Because when you do stop running, whether it's you going on holidays or it's gotten really stressful at work or it's the holidays or whatever it is, you're probably going to be eating the same way and the weight will come back. And that'll be kind of hard to deal with again, right? Second time round and third time round are always hard, and I know that personally. Reducing my resting heart rate is a sign of health. I have noticed that my resting heart rate has gone down the more that I have trained. The more that I have run, the more that active I am, the lower the heart rate seems to go. And to me, it's a fantastic position to be in, because the longer I run, the healthier I get, the longevity of my life hopefully will be. Fingers crossed that it does happen. If we're talking about running, we have to talk about blood pressure, because over the time that I've been using the Maffetone method and running, I've noticed that my blood pressure has gone down. My diet has changed. There's so many different factors that have come into it, but I find that the more that I run, I realize that my blood pressure has gone down. Like, I was up to about 180 at one point, over 110, and it's taken me a number of years to get it down, but it's down, and I'm happy to see where I've been able to improve. And again, all these things just seem to be combined, because the more activity that you do, the more excited you are of doing it, the better you feel, the more that you want to do. And all of these things at the end of the day contribute to hopefully living a longer life.